All right. And you see the title thumbnail. Let's deal with this BS idea that FBA Kiesha is not a Brad worshiper. Go ahead and list all the FBA Kieshas that you know who are Brad worshipers. I got Serena Williams in the thumbnail. You can throw her sister in there too as well. Isn't Eve also a Brad worshiper? Isn't Eve a fellow FBA sister? I am just so annoyed and sick of these effeminate Negroes. These effeminate Negro simps throwing cape and lying. Y'all just straight up lying. Out here talking about FBA women don't worship Brad. Yes, they do. Where and when do you ever see FBA women speaking out against Brad worship? Let me ask you that. Because if it's so foreign to them, you would see those types of videos and comments, tweets, Instagram posts everywhere. YouTube posts. You will see them everywhere. You will see comments from FBA Kieshas like, what is up with y'all in this Brad worship? Like, this is weird. How much y'all admire and worship Brad. You don't hear no Kieshas at all talking like that. They all get on board and praise it, don't they? Every single one of them. Look at all these Kieshas in the comment section. You really trying to tell me all these Kieshas are foreigners? Man, if you don't slap yourself. What was Sade Robinson? Was she a foreigner? All these Kieshas that was unalived going on dates with these Brads. Do y'all remember? Do y'all believe that all of these Kieshas are foreigners? These are all Kieshas who was unalived by their Brad boyfriend. Some of them maybe even been her husband. Are we supposed to believe that all these women were foreigners? Of course not. Like, I don't understand these dudes' agenda, this pandering agenda, where they're constantly trying to project FBA Kieshas as angels. As if, oh, there's nothing wrong with our FBA sisters. All the bed wenches are foreigners. You know how ridiculous you sound talking like that? When you got at least so many celebrities, and I got women in my family who I know are FBA, are not foreigners. They probably don't even know where Haiti is. Don't know where the Caribbean islands are. And every FBA Kiesha that runs into them, they praise the relationship. Do they not? The only difference between FBA Kieshas and foreign Kieshas is that the foreigners are more loud about it. They're more corny and overtly worshiping these brads. Tweeting prayers. Oh God, send me a brad. And even some FBA Kieshas do that. Wasn't Cynthia G praising Brad to no end? Another FBA sister? Wasn't Cynthia G, and isn't she still followed by a bunch of FBA women? Ain't nobody giving pushback to her in her comment section. What y'all talking about? Y'all look and sound weak. As if y'all are unable to deal with any type of adversity. Anything that goes against your narrative of FBA women being angels. You duck and hide and lie. These FBA Kieshas are just as much of Brad worshipers as any other Kiesha. Now, you have these FBA Kieshas in these huge black communities where they're surrounded by a bunch of pookies. There's a few black men in there, but for the most part, they're surrounded by a bunch of pookies. And in general, they don't develop the social skills to interact with brads like that. Right? In general, they feel like Brad wouldn't like them because they're so hood and they're so ghetto. You know, Brad wouldn't be interested in them. You see them all over the internet talking about it. The comments online that you see from FBA Kieshas are the ones where they're talking about how they always assume that Brad is not interested in them. I've always wanted me a white boy, but I never thought they was interested in me. Because you so hood, you go to a hood school, you don't hardly see any of them, and you're so engulfed in the hood, but they still be worshiping Brad. Serena is originally from the hood. Her and her sister. And Eve. How many hood black chicks ended up with Brads? Be sure to list as many as possible in the comment section. There's a whole bunch of them. They're the ones that surprised, like, oh, I never thought I could do it. But these foreign Kieshas are a little bit different, but they're all Brad worshipers. They're all Brad worshipers. And ain't nobody gonna tell me that all of these Brad worshipers are foreigners. What a delusional. You talk about wishful thinking. That really make the FBA movement look pathetic. If that's the type of narrative that your top spokesman put out there, that FBA women ain't into Brads, y'all look pathetic. And that's why so many black men distance themselves from these FBA groups and cliques and social groups. Because y'all too corny and fake. Don't sit up here and lie about these broads' Brad worship. You look like a goofy doing that. A weak, spineless goofy. A little simp. A simp who worship black women yourself. That's really what this come from. If you talk to these Negroes who say this, they're always talking about a sister this, sister that. Oh, my sister was, I was just talking to my sister. They always pulling up sisters on their panels. Giving microphones to these goofy sisters who get up there and start talking goofy. Whenever they refer to historical greats, they always throw in a whole bunch of Kieshas, if not majority Kieshas. They always do this. Anytime they refer to greatness in our history, they want to point to, oh, and this Kiesha and that Kiesha. These dudes are effeminate. They're effeminate as all get up. They are just like black women themselves. When you hear these Negroes talk about the special people in their family who had a positive influence in their life, they are going to refer to some Kiesha, whether it be their mother, their auntie. Listen to them closely when they talk. Whenever they want to vet a black person, what do they ask them? Where's your mother from? Where's your grandmother from? They always speak in terms of females. They'll never ask, where's your father from? Where your parents from? It's always, where's your mother from? Where your grandma from? Oh, they start telling a story. Oh, them days back when we was at grandma's house. Grandma, mama, a bunch of effeminate simps. So it makes sense for them to push this type of rhetoric. But there's too much evidence that flies in the face of that. Again, if this were the case, if FBA Kieshas were not Brad worshipers, they would be the primary group who rallies against Brad worship. The swirl movement did not get any pushback from any group of black women. If this was so foreign to them, they would have provided pushback. Who's been the only critics of this swirl movement and Brad worship? It's been black men, not black women. Why? Because they're all Brad worshipers. I'm going to pick up on this weekend. Right now, I got to go to work. But this is really getting under my skin. Shut up with that nonsense. FBA sisters don't worship. Yes, they do, fool. You just an effeminate Negro and pathetic as all get up. Salute to the chat. I'll see y'all on the next live.